Hello and welcome to the Gutsy Podcast. Good to have everybody join us where we'll be talking everything IBD. Today on the Gutsy Podcast, we have got a very good friend of mine, an inspirational young lady. You're still a young lady, you're getting a bit older, but...
Thanks, Derek.
You're becoming a certain vintage. An inspirational young lady to many, certainly to myself, very much a role model as well. Jenny herself, Jenny Cook, welcome to the Gutsy Podcast. How are you, Jen?
Thank you for having me. I'm good, I'm very excited.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, you don't normally say that when you're hanging about with me. The older you get, you have zero interest.
Well, this is something different, so very excited.
All right, yeah, okay. So we just need to mix it up.
Yeah, I need to mix up the company, yeah.
Yeah, okay, I can do that. Lewis in control as always today. Thanks for that. Jen, what's happening with you? What are you doing?
That's a good question. I don't know what I'm doing with my life today.
Today?
Today.
Are you going on holiday this weekend, I hear?
I'm going on holiday. I'm going on a cruise with the family. Which is going to be, as you will know, something different for us to experience.
Part of me would love to be a fly in the wall, to be honest with you, Jen.
You'll get daily vlogs, you'll get updates.
We're going to get a daily update.
You'll get updates.
I absolutely love that because we need an update on your dad on these things. I think we need a Barry blog. I think that's only fair.
Get him on your next podcast episode.
I think he should appear at some point. He should definitely appear. I think we're going to talk about him a little bit today.
I'm sure we will.
Amongst many other things. So, for those that don't know you, Jen, I've known you for a long time. Mm-hmm. I think I first met you when you were maybe about 5 or 6 or something like that. Mm-hmm. But for those who don't know you, Jen heads up the wonderful fundraiser which is Jenny. And how many are we on now with that, Jen?
How many?
How many Jennies?
Oh, I think this will be the 12th this year.
The 12th.
Jenny.
Yeah, we missed a few years because of COVID, obviously. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, you would be charging towards that 20. But it's doing great. So, Jenny, the big one. I know this will embarrass you, so I do. No, I don't apologise at all. We need to talk about it. Multi-award winner. Winner of the Diana Award, the Young Scot Award, Pride of Scotland, STV Hero Award. The list goes on and on and on. And your face gets brighter and brighter and brighter. But absolutely phenomenal. And it's in recognition of your unwavering spirit in the face of adversity, because you were diagnosed with colitis at 4 years old.
Yeah. So I was very young.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, I mean, I know that's a kind of hard thing to remember unless you're some sort of superhuman.
Sadly not.
Well, maybe there's benefit in not remembering as we can kind of delve into a little bit as well, Jen. But you were diagnosed at 4 years old with colitis. You're 21 now, as we said. You don't remember much about it, but I know a little. You know a little from what your parents have told you and so on. That was a tough time, obviously, for you. Just, you're a baby at the end of the day. And an incredibly worrying time for your parents, obviously. Because nothing was working, and that last resort of surgery, for anybody is really daunting. But I've heard your mum and dad talk about it a number of times over the years, but I don't think until they're in that position anybody can really understand that level of fear and what's going to happen. The light of your life, which is you at the time. Your brother's taken over that now, isn't he?
He's now the favourite child.
He's the favourite. He is the favourite.
He really is the favourite child.
Yeah, it's
you don't hide it.
No, they don't.
They don't.
It's quite sickening.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just used to it, you know.
Yeah. Nah, you've had your time.
I've had my time.
So you've had the attention. It's over to Alex, who's a great lad. To be fair, and a fantastic football player.
Yeah.
It's a worrying time. So what? I know that you know, major surgery was involved there. So what was that, Jen?
So, like you said, I was diagnosed at 4, and between the ages of 4 and 6, I think they did try, you know, kind of everything that was out there under the sun, whether it was, you know, treatments, medicine, diets, and nothing was working. So when I was 6, I had the first operation, which was to remove my large bowel. The second one was to form a J pouch. And the final one was a reversal of the stoma bag that I had for a year. So now I just live with a J pouch.
And that's worked well for you?
That has worked very well for me. So in that aspect, I do feel very, very lucky.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a phenomenal process to go through. Mm-hmm. I kind of, you'll not remember, but you having a stoma for a year is such a young age.
Yeah, and even, you know, well, I can't do the maths, but, you know, many years ago, you know, but even back then it was kind of 15 years ago, even, you know, it was quite unheard of to see someone maybe that young have a stoma bag. And it's, you know, something that's maybe associated with older people. But I do think that, you know, 15 years on, it's getting a lot more, well, sadly, it's more common, but it's, you know, more awareness is being raised of it.
Yeah, there's massive awareness. I know that we've got a number of ambassadors with stomas, which is helping highlight that. You know, you've got some absolutely phenomenal work from Get Your Belly Out, who really, really highlighted it. I mean, it's something that we've mentioned on the Gutsy podcast a number of times. He really put that into a different stratosphere of awareness and you know, I hate to say it, but socially acceptable.
Yeah.
That sounds awful, but doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
That sounds absolutely horrendous, because that's part of these individuals, and it doesn't change them. And I know there was a lot of pushback when those guys started that campaign, but it went global, and it was just it was amazing. It was absolutely unbelievable. And it's something that community, the IBD community, and others, you know, the stoma community are still benefiting from in many ways, and long may that continue to make it, you know, it's normal.
Yeah,
you know, it's you know, bringing it into normality instead of it being taboo and you know, people judging and everything that goes with that. So you're a wee thing rocking that then.
I know, age 6 with a bag.
Age 6. But I think even then you understood that at a very young age, which is, I've always, if you don't mind me saying, I've always thought that you were, in many ways, not every way, very mature for your age. You'd an older head on your shoulders. Sometimes absolutely not in other ways, but that's not for today.
No, not getting to that today.
No, definitely not. But you recognised that you'd been through the mill.
Yeah.
Even then. And you wanted to help other people.
Yeah, definitely. That was one of the, you know, first kind of thoughts into my head. You know, obviously I don't remember much at all, but I do remember kind of sitting in hospital bed thinking, you know, what could I do when I'm out of hospital, you know, feeling better to help others that are going through the same. And obviously since then it's been...
You've not done much.
Yeah, nah. I was all talk.
You're all talk. But I mean, we'll go on to that journey in a bit. But you know, over the years, your story's been shared many times. You know, privately and publicly through the press and everything that goes along with that, with these really high profile awards and things like that. You know, the Jenny Cook story's been shared all over the gaff, which is testament to you, but just bringing it back to your family and those kind of harrowing times. Now I know that your mum still can't really speak about it. I mean, I've asked her to speak. In fact, we could make this a wee thing. I've asked her to speak at Tea Jenny loads of times.
Probably every single year.
Yep.
And it's been a no.
No. She said she was going to do it one year.
She did actually,
She
yes.
did. And what happened?
Well, she doesn't.
Yeah. Kirstein's bottle crashed, Jen.
See, the thing is, my mum is referred to as the ice queen. She doesn't really show emotion. But if it's to do with Jenny and IBD in one sentence, it's tears.
Yeah. No, so this is, I think we should have a campaign.
Some sort of public appeal.
So we're taking this as the first stage in a public appeal that Kirstein Cook should most definitely stand up and share her story as a parent at Tea Jenny.
I wish you luck.
We can only start somewhere, Jen.
Get my dad in instead.
Oh, no, sick of him. We need to start somewhere. But I think it's really powerful because, I mean, how when you think about where your parents were at that point, I mean, how does it make you feel?
Well, I mean, from a selfish point of view, I'm very glad to have gone through the worst of it when I was young, not remembering it. But obviously all of the stress and worry that I would have had, it was completely put on my mum and dad.
Yeah.
So, you know, aged 4, I couldn't make any decisions for myself. It was all up to them. So as I get older, I can understand probably how they would have felt. But I probably, until I become a parent, never, understand how they fully felt, going through that. But I can only imagine it was really tough for them and my brother as well. It really does have a knock-on effect, I think, on families.
Yeah, I mean, a statement that I think it was Brandon Duffy, who who's an ambassador for the charity and a really inspiring lad as well, is that he said a statement and it just totally rings true. And I think it's something that as the Catherine McEwen Foundation and the greater inflammatory bowel disease community and beyond need to understand. It's not just the patient that gets inflammatory bowel disease, it's the family. Definitely.
And I think that's what the foundation, what we do really well is the family days and stuff like that. I think that's so important for the family to have that kind of support, not just the patient going through it.
Yeah, because even though you're at a particularly young age at this point, a little bit older, you still don't really know, and the kids just naturally get on with it because what you quite rightly say is the decisions are getting made for them.
Yeah, that's
so
it.
They see that as life. They don't actually know any different. Very different when you're a bit older, obviously, which is life being healthy, and then you're not.
Yeah.
So that's quite challenging, and that's why it's important. That and the fact that the parents are going through this, the families going through that, siblings, to kind of have that level of support for those guys as well.
Definitely.
Because it's a lot on your shoulders.
Oh, absolutely. It really is.
It's a lot. But they've get through it. We know that alcohol has helped them dramatically through that.
I'm sure it has. Oh, it still does.
Still
probably,
does. Yeah. God, shares in red wine shot up and is maintained this day by your lovely mum, Kirsten. Sorry, Kirsten, you're going to get it in this. I would imagine it's throughout.
Oh dear.
Oh, it's fine. She'll be fine. So you wanted to help other people, Jen?
I did.
So you're in that hospital bed. You're there and you're saying, how can I do that? How did you kick that off?
Oh God! So
the first one.
Take me back. So
back you go.
So it was a cheese and wine night at my local primary school.
No, for me, you're at what point? How old are you at this point?
Now, 5. I think I was.
You're
5.
5.
Yes.
Right, you're 5, and you're thinking about wine.
Cheese and wine.
Cheese and wine.
I started young.
How do you even know about cheese and wine at 5?
I
Again, is this a reflection on Barry and Kirstine?
Well, yeah, it must be. It must run in the family. It was a cheese and wine night, believe it or not, aged 5. So that was the first thing. And then obviously since then, it's kind of just, well, you could say maybe snowballed into many more different things. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure I was in hospital on the day that it was meant to be the cheese and wine night. So they
really?
Yeah, I think I was. So I think they let me out like the morning of it to go and do my little speech, say thank you for coming, everyone.
Right, I need to stop you there. I need to look at this because, right, so what you're telling me now, for someone who's been involved in fundraising for like 22 years or something like that, a long time. Now you do need to pull on the heartstrings. Yes, you know, you do need to do that to tell your story. But I have never, and the Catherine McEwen Foundation have never, this is pre your relationship with the Catherine McEwen Foundation, of course, have never wheeled away now from the hospital to get money in.
Well,
This could be deemed low.
That's what you call dedication to the cause.
Well, it depends what eyes you look at it with, I suppose, what your perception is. We're wheeling the sick child out of the hospital bed.
Quite literally.
Wow. But and how did you get permission for that?
I think I got given a wee night pass, and I've got cheese and wine night to attend to. Let me out. So that was the first one. So very sophisticated.
That sophistication has not stopped, Jen.
No. So yeah, that was the first one, and then obviously after that it was backpacks, toy sales, and then of course Tea Jenny. A couple of years later.
I remember doing a couple of backpacks with you. I'm pretty sure we've still got pictures of that.
Oh, I'm sure we do.
Yeah, we've still got pictures of your York Hill t-shirt on. When York Hill was still... Now the Royal Hospital for Children.
That's it, yeah.
We always still kind of call it York Hill, don't we?
I feel like we do, don't we?
Yeah, a wee bit. Yeah. A wee bit. And the great work that they do every day, and obviously looking after you and... giving you a wee day pass, an evening pass rather, an evening pass for the cheese and wine. Quite possibly a first and only time that's ever happened.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. So tell me, I mean, you must have missed a colossal amount of school, primary school.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's when my journey first started and when it was at its worst. So I think from, primary 1 to primary 3, I was hardly in school, you could say. And I think those are the years where you kind of form your sort of set friendship groups and things like that. And I sort of missed out on that. I didn't really have any sort of stable friend group at all throughout primary school because that was made when I wasn't in, really. So that was quite difficult.
So I mean, I know it's a long time ago and you're really young, but when you went to school, were your friends, well, they weren't that close by the sounds of it, but the groups that you were they aware that you were ill, or you had colitis and you'd been through this kind of traumatic time with your ops and stuff?
I mean, I don't know how much they knew, but I think they knew, so I do remember I was, when you have your operation, you're off for like 4 weeks. And I remember coming back one lunchtime and, they're all coming running up going, "Oh, Jenny, you're back." But again, I don't know how much they knew, being aged 5 or 6 at the time. So, yeah, I suppose it was, I feel like I kind of missed out on that part of life, you could say. I do feel quite jealous at people that have their set friend groups from all the way back in primary school. I don't keep in touch with anyone from primary. But yeah, that's just one of the things, I suppose.
Yeah, it's a bit of a knock on. But how did it also affect your education? Did you feel as if you struggled? Can you remember that?
I was quite lucky in that sense. Moving on to high school, I had an amazing support team. So Mr. McKenna, who was my guidance teacher, and Mrs. Sinclair, and all of the staff at William Woods. They were so helpful.
Yeah.
I missed quite a lot. Again, my attendance at high school wasn't really much better, you could say, for one reason and the other, but they really did help me through exams and things like that. So I know not everyone is as lucky as that, and it would definitely have an impact on education if you don't have that help.
Yeah, I think having a little bit of knowledge, excuse me, of your journey, you really knocked it off with the school, the support of the school, and you're right in what you say. Unfortunately, not every school. It's maybe not that they want to be. They don't want to be supportive. That they just don't have the. Just don't have the manpower, or their focus is elsewhere, and that's a real shame, because as we're seeing diagnosis of inflammatory bowel disease, let's face it, go through the roof. There's going to be more and more cases of it that they're going to have to support. Yep. So, you knocked it off. I've met those guys. They're nice.
They're lovely.
They're nice,
I really miss them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really miss them.
Why don't you invite them to a cheese and wine?
Oh, God, T. Jenny. Honestly.
There you go.
Cheese and wine.
A prime example, Jen.
I know.
Now, through that time, you were on the radio.
I know. What was it I said to you before we started? It's taking me back to my radio days.
Your radio days. So tell us about your radio stardom, because it became an actual thing.
Oh my God, it did. So actually, last year someone recognised my voice.
No.
I was like, really? She was like, no, I recognised the voice straight away. It was like a woman serving me in the post office in East Kilbride, going, "Are you wee Jenny from Radio Clydes?"
No.
I swear on my life.
But that was like 100 years ago.
I know. I was like, I thought I've matured since then. Maybe not.
Maybe your voice is just the same.
I know.
You were
Still high-pitched and squeaky.
You were born with that voice.
Change it.
Never changing.
No, so it was so random. So it was Burns night, and I had a wee poem that I was learning in school. So George Bowie was doing something at the time where kids phoned in to read out their Burns poetry.
George, great. George and Ellen, great friends of the foundation.
I know, very, very supportive of the charity.
Legends.
So it was George Bowie. So I was on his show reading out a poem in my high-pitched, squeaky voice. And then it was Robin Galloway that kind of stole me away from George Bowie. I think he kept replaying it on his show. And then I'm not too sure what happened. And before I knew it, I was on a weekly slot with Robin on Robin's show, known as Wee Jenny.
Really?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I need to bring this up, but I think I'm meeting Robin soon, because he's hosting Tea Jenny, but he's also doing another couple of things for the charity that are in the pipeline. I mean, and I'll catch up with George at the weekend. Actually, I think so. I never knew that there's a wee bit of robbery on the go there, Jen.
Well, that's it.
Well, say you were in demand even then.
Well, that's it. But the rest is history, and obviously you know yourself how supportive and how great Robin is. I couldn't imagine doing Tea Jenny without him, honestly.
No, he's
amazing.
He's an absolute diamond. He's a great guy. There's absolutely no doubt about that. But what did you do on the show?
That's a good question. I just spoke rubbish. I spoke about things. So
play your strengths, Jen. Play your strengths.
Well, one of the things was they got my mum on as well, actually, believe it or not.
Really?
We had a conversation about I wasn't getting any pocket money at the time. So it was a debate on the show really between me and my mum, a bit of negotiation, how much pocket money I should get. So long story short, it was £5 a week, aged 8, so that wasn't so bad. And I remember the next day I was in Morrison's and an old guy came up to me saying, "You were on the radio, here's £20 towards your pocket money because that's outrageous that your parents don't give you any." Like, happy days. My mum was mortified. Because it's like, I think it was honestly, it came across like my mum and dad didn't buy me anything. If I wanted something, they would buy it for me. But it was as if I was a wee poor soul.
Were you deprived?
I was deprived, you could say.
Oh my God. Those parents.
That's it.
Maybe need to call the social work even now for that, to be honest with you.
I know you should actually.
So I think, I remember that, and it was quite it was quite a big thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And it's weird because a lot of people then, like, I've met people like a few years later, even the teachers at school actually, they were like, you weren't wee Jenny. I was like, I was. They were like, I'd never linked it, with you. It's like, my God.
So a little bit of a radio celebrity.
A radio era.
Yeah, you're just, oh my God.
Retired now.
Well, never say never, Jen. Never say never.
Very true.
But yeah, we're looking forward to Tea Jenny this year. We'll have Robin back as always.
Yep.
I wonder if he's got the recordings.
Oh, I hope not.
Oh, Jen, that would be good.
It will be out there somewhere, I'm sure.
I think we need to we need to track down all these recordings of your radio career.
Oh God,
I think that would be good fun.
Fab, can't wait.
I can tell you're absolutely delighted with that. Absolutely delighted.
Oh God.
So, how going back to the health, which is obviously important.
Yes.
You're into secondary school, massively supportive school.
Yep.
But you're still missing loads of it.
Yeah.
You've got your large bowel out, so effectively you've got a G pouch. That's working well, still working well.
Yep.
Long may that continue. How is your health? How's it? You're still getting the effects, aren't you? You still have challenges.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I mean, I would be lying if I said, some days I wish I was just had a normal body and was just, normal. But in other ways, I am very, very lucky. So I always think about that. There's people going through the same journey that haven't been as lucky as me for different reasons. I suppose the main sort of things is the kind of fatigue part of it, feeling run down. I think that's a really difficult thing to explain to people. And it's lost a few friendships on the way as well, which is sad.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's sad to look back on.
So what? So when you say that, how does that work? How do they not understand? They're not willing to understand? Do you think you're just cancelling?
Yeah.
You think you're they
just
think you're that
friend.
guy?
It is a hard thing to understand. I think it comes down to a lack of awareness and education as well. I think people struggle to understand if I'm out the day before with them, I'm looking well and I'm all good. The next day I have to cancel because I wake up and it's literally a struggle to get out of bed and get ready.
Yeah.
It's hard for them to understand that. So it's lost a couple of friendships along the way in the sense that they think I'm probably just being lazy, can't be bothered.
Don't like them.
And I'm sure that's a common experience for many people with IBD, and it is sad.
I mean, we hear it all the time.
Yeah.
Sadly. That one, but you look okay.
Yeah, I hate that.
You're absolutely dying inside.
10 layers of fake tan on. Yeah.
Just the 10. I know you're a big fan of
usually
those.
A solid 15 layers, but yeah, going for the more natural look now.
Yeah, just down to 12.
So yeah, just the 12.
It's it's invisible condition.
Yeah, that's it.
And you could be, looking fabulous as you always do, Jen. It's like, it's what's going on inside.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And that has obviously get its challenges, and you're missing school, and there's gives you challenges with your with friends, because kids don't get it. I mean, even as a young teenager, still kids, really.
I know, definitely. So it's not exactly I'm pointing the finger saying that's they're terrible people. I'm sure they're not, but
maybe one or two.
Yeah, maybe I think you always get the one, but yeah. So that's one of the challenges, definitely.
And how was your mental health around it?
I suppose, and I think that's something the foundation we raise a lot of awareness for, and I've done a lot of fundraising towards, is the mental aspect of it as well.
Yeah.
I suppose in my head, if I get whatever symptom it might be, I instantly assume the worst case situation or worst case scenario, because when I was 4, kind of at the time for me, the sore stomach, did turn out to be a worst case scenario, you could say. So that's constantly at the back of my head. And just sometimes feeling down with it, to be honest. And that can be because, you know, you feel like people aren't really understanding, and just go through, you know, up and down days, really.
Yeah, but if you're missing big events, whether it's a birthday or well, they just wheel you at the hospital for big events, don't they?
I know, a cheeky wee night pass.
you just charm them for a wee night pass.
That's it.
You know, but not everybody's that lucky.
No.
So that, you know, there is a lot of missed things, and you know, when you're going through your formative years, school, where, you know, as we spoke about earlier, you're building those relationships and going out and, you know, parties and whatever.
Yeah.
If you're missing that.
Yeah, it was hard. Definitely. It was really hard. I think now that I've started uni, I've got, you know, very good friends, a lovely boyfriend. I feel very lucky now in that sense. I've got very good people around me that do understand, which is very nice. Yeah,
that group and that group for understanding is really, really important. That understand you and your ups and the downs, and, you know, they accept you for what you are, and, you know, as a whole is really important. I mean, a phrase that we hear continually on the Gutsy podcast is find your tribe.
Find your tribe, oh yeah.
So you found yours now.
I found my tribe, so I'm very lucky. And it's just the kind of the thing as well, you know, where you don't need to explain yourself. They say, you know, by the way, if you're not feeling up to it, we can do something else. We can do something at, you know, closer to the house, or we'll do it another day. You know, it's little things like that make such a difference to someone with IBD. It's like, thank you.
Yeah, but it's something less for you to worry about.
Huge weight off your shoulders.
Yeah, because you know, stress for anybody's no good. But if you're putting stress on yourself, and, you know, you've got other challenges, then that's not good.
No.
So you don't. Obviously, you're disappointed you're not going to make something, and you maybe you're not really letting the side down, but you maybe feel that way. But but you don't need to worry about it. Whereas, you know, if there's people who are not so understanding of the situation or whatever it is, then it becomes a bit of a drama, doesn't it? That you just don't need.
No, definitely. And my advice would be to people is learn how to say no. I think I was very much a people pleaser when I was in school, where I would say yes to every plan. I would say, yes, I'll go and run the 1 mile run and die for the next week in bed with sore joints and a sore stomach. You know, you just know your limit. Push yourself to an extent, obviously, but it's okay to say no. And if people don't understand it, well, that's their problem.
Do you know what? I think that's absolutely unbelievable advice.
Yeah, just say no.
Yeah, I think it's the best thing, because you need to take care of yourself.
You do. Put yourself first. And if anyone else was in your shoes feeling the way that you feel with your, you know, sore stomach or whatever it is, they would do the same.
Yeah, but I also think if you put yourself, if it's a bit of role reversal, I wouldn't want you to go out and push yourself so you were ill.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want you to go to that night out and have a few drinks or whatever it is, and so that you're going to, you know, you're going to be affected for a week or whatever after it. Yeah. I would say, oh, it's cool. Yeah. There's loads of time to do that stuff.
Yeah, I see it as a positive. I think something like this, it lets you see who your true friends are straight away. There's no point having someone like that as your friends and putting in effort, you know, so it lets you see that straight away. Sound
advice, Jen. Powerful stuff.
Powerful.
No, listen, all kidding aside, that is massive advice, and hopefully that will help somebody that's listening. If not more than one person. That'd be nice.
Hopefully.
Let's talk a little bit about the fundraising and the impact, and, you know, I mean, because it all kind of snowballed. I know we're joking about the wee Jenny persona on the radio, but that kind of backed up, you know, that awareness of you definitely added to the awareness of the Jenny events and everything that goes along with that. Obviously, you know, you became involved with the Catherine McEwen Foundation. How did we meet, Jen?
Me and you.
Yeah.
So we met at a family fun day held by you and the foundation at the Science Centre. I think my mum and dad and me were invited along, weren't we?
You were.
Yeah.
You were. That's when I first had the Barry experience, Jen.
Yeah. Yeah. Just, yeah. The Barry experience.
I've not been able to get rid of him ever since.
No, you have. You really haven't. 2 peas in a pod, I would say.
Whoa, easy now. Easy,
no,
easy.
that's too far.
Wee bit far. He is most definitely, it will be reinforced because you're going your family holiday, which we'll look forward to an update on, as he's in his own pod.
It's Barry's world and we all live in it, Derek. That's what I like to say. Honest to God. But yeah, that's how we met. And I think since then, I mean, I would say definitely the best thing that came out from having IBD was meeting you and your lovely wife, Julie. That's definitely the main thing. And my mum and dad would say the exact same thing. Jen, a lovely friendship. Or addition to the family, you could say, actually.
Jen, it's you that's meant to get the tears, not me. That's lovely, honestly.
Yeah, but it's true. And I know how much you helped my mum and dad, at that time. And you still continue to do so. And all the stuff, the foundation, it's just, I do feel very proud seeing it, it's completely transformed into something bigger. And it's getting bigger and bigger as the years go on. So
you're far too kind, Jen, far too kind. But yes, I would say I feel very much the same. But we met at that family day, I think at Science Centre.
Yep.
There was a lot of talking. I think Barry did a lot of, and your mum had a lot of brilliant input into that. And I think I remember you were going through steroids and stuff like that at the time, weren't you?
I had them in face at the time, yeah.
Yeah, which is a side effect of the steroids. Mm-hmm. You were still awfully cute, Jen.
Oh, thank you.
But I mean that obviously helped you, and then we became part of that journey, and very, very privileged to be part of that journey with you guys, and part of that fundraising journey as well. So the TGNA event's just exploded over the years, hasn't it?
It really has. I mean, it's over 600 ladies that are coming this year.
Yeah.
First year it was 80, 12 years ago. So
yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, it's grown arms and legs.
Yeah.
Ladies' lunch.
That makes it sound so sophisticated. It's really not.
I think they go in ladies. A lot of them
ladies and come-outs. Still lovely ladies.
That's unfair. They just have a very good time.
Yes.
And shall I say that they're very, very generous. They're absolutely on board with what we're doing, and it's I think it's like to see that as an event, just to stand alone, get to where it is now, and also it attracts the big names. You'd Howard Donald from Take That last year.
Sure did.
He was quite popular.
He was very popular. Yes, that's one way of putting it.
Yeah, there was lots of middle-aged ladies in a frenzy
trying to get on that stage.
And this year, who have we got?
We've got Gok Kwan this year. Very exciting.
The lovely Gok. That will be fantastic as well. So I'm not sure if this is going out before or after, but we'll put some info on it either way. But I think we're sold out.
We are sold out, I think.
Pretty much. I think I squeezed a few extra people in.
Oh, of course you did.
I don't like.
You can't say no.
I can't let people down.
That's it.
The people have to come.
Well, definitely.
They have to come. So looking forward to it. We've got Nicholas McDonald as always.
Yes.
Your pal. Our pal.
Foundation's pal. Very big supporter.
Yeah, he's a great lad.
Yeah.
He's a great lad. We've got the lovely Heather Kane back as well.
Yes, she's brilliant.
She's amazing,
She's so good.
She has got an unbelievable voice.
She's so talented. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. Robin on the old hosting duties, who's very, very popular with the ladies.
Oh, yes.
Isn't he just? He's wearing it well. He's getting a bit older, and he's certain vintage, and he's still awful popular.
He's looking lovely.
He's a handsome chap. Yeah. He's a handsome chap. And we've got music choir coming in as well on this one, which will be fantastic. They've starred at Red Hot Ball quite a few times over the years, and they're always popular. So yeah, we're looking forward to that. As always, something that came out of your inspirational story and journey as you became an ambassador for not only the Catherine McEwen Foundation, but for York Hill, which has been absolutely phenomenal, for everybody. So you're a great ambassador for both of us, and I know that Kirsten and all the team really appreciate everything that you've done over there as well. So it's it's been great to be on that journey, as I say, with you as well. So Jen, where are you now? You're at uni now.
Yeah.
You've despite not going to school that much, you had phenomenal results.
Thank you.
And what year are you going into now at uni?
Final year, 4th year.
Wow.
I know, it's flown in.
And how was your experience on the old being a student worked out for you?
Well, it's good for all the alcohol and nights out, if I can say that. From the educational point of view, it has been challenging, but it's, I think as well, I mean, it was kind of COVID when I started, so the first 2 years were really very much online. Yeah. Still now I'm not really in as much, but it's, I do enjoy it. Politics and journalism, so yeah, but I'm nearing the end.
Yeah, but it's only the end of this part.
Well, yes, I think I'll be going back.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I'll go back and do a postgrad in teaching.
Wow, good for you. So why have you chosen that?
Well, I mean, I've always really enjoyed helping young people with their work. I was never naturally academic. I got straight A's in my Nat 5s and hires, advanced hires. People would have laughed if I told them that before. I'm not an actually academic person, just kind of studied the right way. So I've always had a kind of passion to help other young people that are going through the same. So
something that's interesting for me, and for people watching this, you said study the right way. What's the right way? Because I remember when I was studying, you get the books out and you're reading through and you're copying stuff and da da da. I mean, is this something that you've taught yourself? You've picked up somewhere else? It's something you've developed?
Yeah, I think I was just really determined. I think to prove people wrong, really, that I could do well in my exams. So, when I say the right way to study, it varies for each person, but. And I'm sure a lot of it does come down to having the right support in the first place. But yeah, finding the right way to study, having your notes all condensed and your flashcards, mind maps, not just reading out of a textbook and highlighting things. So that inspired me to start tutoring.
Wow.
That was in my, S6. So I've been doing that for the last 4 years, and I've kind of realised that's actually something I want to do as a full-time job when I graduate. So you found
a passion in teaching and helping others.
And along the way, there's been a few students that could be Crohn's or other similar conditions that were in the same position as me, and so I'm really passionate about making sure they've got the support that they need to still do well.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite clear that helping others is in your DNA, isn't it? Because you just look back at your reaction when you're sitting in the hospital bed, when you've just come out your op or whatever, and then even now you still want to make a career of helping others. You're still fundraising, and all that. You still find the time to go and get pissed.
Well, that's it. So work-life balance.
Yeah.
Work hard, play hard. I don't know. That's a wee motivational quote.
Yeah, I think we should put a disclaimer that that's not for everybody.
I know, maybe not.
You're doing well, and it's brilliant to see, Jen. Absolutely. So we know what you're doing now. We know what your plans for the future are. Your health at the moment.
It's been really good.
Brilliant.
Yeah, which
absolutely amazing.
Yeah. I feel like the past few years it's been really good. I've been jetting off, going to different cities. And
I think one of the things that I do like about, so I've got a bit of a love-hate relationship with social media. So I think it's a horrible place sometimes, but it's a brilliant place in others. And one of the things that I really like about it is when people are travelling and you can see them travelling. So it's been great to see you travel with your pals. It's been great to see you travelling with John and go to some brilliant places. Yeah. Branch out, and you don't have the level of travelling anxiety that your dad does.
Absolutely not. You'll not see me in the airport 5 hours before the flight leaves.
No, but I can relate to that because, as you know, my Julie is very much the same.
Yeah.
With that.
Can
Yes.
you imagine me and Julie on a holiday, just us two?
No, we've not done that.
No,
I've seen you in a day. To be honest, with you, it's not something we want to talk about on the Gutsy podcast. One of the things that we spoke about before we came in was health anxiety.
Yeah.
Which I think is something that we should speak about because it's quite an interesting thing because you've obviously at a very young age had such a harrowing experience. Now, whether you don't remember most of it, which we know, but that's still going to make, that trauma is still going to affect you, you know, through your life and especially affecting your mum. Because if something's wrong with you or something's wrong with Alex and it's like,
worst case scenario again.
Yeah. And how you know, can I explain, if you don't mind, kind of explaining it for the people watching?
Yeah, I'm sure many people can relate to this as well, but it's just, you know, you've gone through the worst case scenario, being diagnosed with IBD, so you instantly think that whether it's a sore head, a sore foot even, it's any tiny niggle in your body. I am on Google and I've already diagnosed myself with a serious incurable condition, and it's one of those things that eats away in your head. It's the only way I can describe it. It's the only thing on your mind, and then you forget about it for a short amount of time until the next niggle comes up and you're on to a next illness or disease that you think you have. So it can be quite draining.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Your mind is like in overdrive sometimes.
Yeah, and Google's the absolute worst thing
it's
for it.
It's the enemy. Yeah, that's my advice. Don't Google.
Do not Google.
Do not Google.
Do not Google. So, Jen, along your incredible journey, it's very inspiring. I know I've said that quite a few times, but to come, you know, from where you've been at a very young age and have that attitude, you know, to help others and still wanting to do that, you know, a lot of people just naturally, you know, you become a teenager, in your early 20s, you're going out and all that, but you still maintained that you know, that thread of helping people. But with that, and I know you don't really like talking about this, he came with certain accolades and certain recognitions and awards. Now, there's actually too many to mention, to be honest with you. So, you know, I mentioned at the top of the show the Diana Award, the Young Scot, the Pride of Scotland, the STV Hero Award. I mean, these are pretty meaty accolades.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about that?
I mean, well, you know, the word award, Derek, it does send alarm bells in my mind. But it's something that I'm definitely proud of and grateful for as well. And those have provided very amazing experiences and meeting inspiring people through them as well. So in that aspect, it's been great.
Yeah. If you were to pick one, what's your favourite?
Oh. Oh, I don't know. That's a hard question. Well, I think Pride of Scotland was definitely a special one, and the Diana Award as well, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're right. They're all
all special in their own ways.
Yeah, to get that recognition from different quarters is absolutely incredible. I know that you've been to Parliament.
Yes. You were there as well, weren't you? We were a road trip.
Yeah, I was getting mixed up, but I never nearly made it.
Because you slept in, didn't you?
Yeah, but we're going to blame Julie for that. Do you remember the story? So I had said that I was to meet you guys in London because you were getting an award at what award was that? Westminster?
Oh, it was the BCY British Youth Citizen Award or something like that.
Yeah, not even on the list, Jen. Not even on the list. And there's another one that's not on the list that I was just. You got the Point of Light for the Prime Minister as well.
Oh, I met David Cameron. Yeah. Yes, that was a special one. Yeah. Inside Downing Street.
Yeah, very, very swanky.
I know.
Very swanky. And Julie was away working.
Okay, yes.
And she was out on a works night in Amsterdam and she phoned me in the middle of the night, slightly happy, worse for wear.
Okay.
And I had to hang up, and for whatever reason, the alarm never went off.
Oh, Derek, you need a backup alarm.
Didn't think I needed one, didn't have one, and I had to get to the airport, shall we say, pretty sharp.
Pretty promptly.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was sweating, the shirt, it was a mess.
Your room wasn't ready either. You had to go, you were running in with all your bags and hours and we were trying to get, I know it was, but once we were there, it was very sophisticated. So that was a good day.
It was a great day.
Yeah.
It was an absolutely fantastic day. And I think the most recent one was STV Hero a few years ago. It was in COVID, but
that was in COVID times, yeah. All the social distancing and masks and stuff.
Crazy times. And you've met a few famous people over the years on that, haven't you?
Yeah, so
who'd you meet?
I met the Vamps, which I was very excited about. Who else have I met? David Cameron.
You met David Cameron?
I met David Cameron. Who else? This is when I forget.
Do you?
Yeah.
Well, you might have met the future king.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I would say that's the main one, actually. Oh, my God. Prince William and Kate.
Yes.
Princess Kate.
You did. And you got a video message from Gordon Ramsay, I believe, at the STV Awards. But, well tell us about that.
Well, yes, happily. Now, I am a big Gordon Ramsay fan, and I actually have a bit of a crush on Gordon Ramsay. Now,
Do you?
I do. I always have. I know. It's so random. Don't ask me how I have it. I don't know.
Listen, Jen, we're not here to look into.
Not here to judge.
To work that out, or certainly not judge.
No. So, yes. So, it was a video message. It was a very big surprise, and I was invited down to have dinner with him. So,
how did that dinner work out?
It's not happened. And I am upset about it. That was 4 years ago, and I'm still awaiting my invite. So I think there's been some kind of loss in the post, maybe lost in miscommunication there. But
are we going
yes.
I mean, to be kind, we should put it down to COVID and everything that went along with that.
No, we can do that.
However, I mean, I think it's fair to ask. You know, if anybody watching this can tag Gordon, because we're all big fans.
But if anyone knows Gordon Ramsay, let me know.
Yeah, and Gordon, Jen's still waiting on that invite.
I sure am, yes.
Fantastic. Jen, let's talk about your experience with your teams at the hospitals. I know you know, they're very fond of you, like most people. But they've been a big part of your journey, and you know how supportive they've been of you and your family, haven't they?
Yeah, definitely. There's many people that have supported me. The hospital team, I mean, the IBD team are amazing. You know, so the IBD nurses, Vicky and Lee, who were at the time the nurses when I was at the Children's Hospital. My surgeon, Mr. Haddock.
What did you call Mr. Haddock?
Fishy Spice. It's so random, people won't get it, but I always had spotty, like it was just a coincidence, I always had spotty pyjamas on when I was in hospital, so he decided to call me Spotty Spice. I was like, okay, well, Fishy Spice it is.
But you guys, I remember meeting Mr. Haddock. He's now retired, a lovely gentleman. And you know, you guys had a special relationship. You know,
we did.
He came been to T Jenny, hasn't he?
Yes, he has. He was a special guest with his wife at T Jenny. His wife keeps up to date with the T Jenny page on Facebook.
Wow.
But yeah, so they were amazing, and of course, Professor Richard Russell as well.
Yeah.
Who's obviously a massive supporter of the charity too. But he done a lot for me as well in the hospital.
Yeah, I mean, I think that we are very lucky to have had that team there, and you've been very lucky to have that such a caring and knowledgeable and supportive team. And you know, Lee's still there. Richard's over heading up the Edinburgh.
Yep.
Vicky's now with the charity. Who's appearing on the Gutsy podcast as well. So it's been great from that point of view. And do you still go for do you still go to clinic? Do you still get appointments, right?
No.
Should you?
I think I should, yeah. I mean, I don't know what I'm entitled to. I'm not sure, but no.
Well, I think it's one of those ones, if you're well enough, then that's the last thing you want to do.
Exactly. So, no, the honest answer is no. I've not been to a hospital since, I would say, maybe 2020, and then COVID hit, and then it feels like I was kind of just lost in the process, to be honest.
But I think that's quite a common thing.
It is. It's actually something that we hear about a lot, isn't it? And it's a shame, because I think that's really important. Going from the children's hospital to adults, it's a big step. And my experience of it wasn't very good, to be honest.
No. I hate to say it, but it's something that we hear often. Yeah, but I know there's a lot of people working to make it better.
Yeah, definitely.
It's certainly not forgotten about, and it's something that if we can improve that moving forward, and I think at the Catherine McEwen Foundation, if we can make that one of our goals over the next few years, is to try and support our medical partners as much as possible to do that, then it can only be beneficial for everybody at the end of the day. That's really what we're looking for. Yeah. So, Jen, we're almost done. You may be pleased or not pleased to hear.
I've enjoyed this.
Yeah, it's been fun. Yeah. You've been great. So, at the end of the podcast, we always do a quick fire.
Okay.
So, as always, I can't find the notes on that, but I've got them there. So, I think you've probably touched on a couple of them. Mm-hmm. What's your 3 top tips for living with IBD?
Number 1 is to talk, I would say, whether that's reaching out on social media. Lots of people going through the same out there. Number 2, try to let IBD take the back seat. Try and, do the things that you want to do. Don't let it hold you back. And number 3 might be contrasting the last one, but again, know your limits. Don't do things to please others, and see it as a kind of learning curve, to let you see who your true friends are in life. Fantastic.
Sound advice. What are the most asked? What do people ask most? 3 most asked things.
Oh, 3 most asked questions.
Yeah.
I mean, I think maybe the first one is, well, how can you be ill when you look well?
Yeah.
Which is can be a hard one to try and explain and talk about. 2, maybe confusing it with IBS.
Yeah.
It's a common one. And number 3, people asking maybe, so you've had surgery, like, is that you cured, or does it have a cure? And obviously it's a no, sadly, just now.
Fair enough. Fantastic. 3 things that annoy you.
Oh God, there's lots of things that annoy me in life, Derek. 3.
Yeah, we can have, if they're IBD related, we know there's lots of things that annoy you.
IBD related, okay.
Yeah. But they don't have to be now. They could have been a part of your journey.
Lack of awareness and educating. It doesn't take, it is easy, especially nowadays, for people to, educate themselves on invisible conditions. So just a lack of awareness and understanding from people. 2, again, but you look okay, that phrase, it really bugs me. The wonders of fake tan and makeup.
Yeah.
Yeah. And number 3, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a third one.
You don't have to have one.
I think those are my 2.
Maybe let you off. No, they're big ones.
Yeah.
Hopes for the future.
Obviously a cure, but for being realistic in, a shorter time frame, more awareness, which I think is something that the foundation are nailing, and better treatment and just support in general for everyone affected, patients and families.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I think the more we get it out there, the more we normalise it, because for some it's still pretty taboo, which we don't want.
No.
But it's getting there.
Yeah, I think we are getting there.
The more we do it. What are you grateful for?
Oh, well, I mean, I've already touched on meeting you, Derek, and Julie, of course. But no, in all seriousness, I'm grateful for meeting lots of inspiring people along the way. That's definitely one of the things I'm grateful for.
Brilliant. So, Jen, that's us done.
That's us.
How good was that?
That was really good fun.
A massive thanks for coming in.
No problem. Thank you.
Sharing your story. you know, I'm a big fan. I mean, you're my wee pal, but I'm a big fan. I think you're, you know, for anybody watching or listening, that, you know, your story is really, really inspiring. You've got that threaded DNA, that caring thread all through your body, and that, you know, and even your, you know, from your experience going through what you went through at a young age and wanting to help people, to even want to build a career through helping people, and that's really, really admirable. So, you know, I have to take my hat off to you and that.
Oh, thank you.
Long may that continue. You know, you're a fantastic role model to most people, to be honest with you. You've certainly a role model to me sometimes. But you know, I think it's inspiring for other kids that are going through what you went through and where you are, and seen that positivity, and I think something that you touched on is, you know, IBD is, you know, in whatever shape or form that someone gets it. Yeah, it's a terrible card, it's a bad card, there's no denying that.
Yeah.
But keeping that at the, you know, you drive the car, keep the IBD in the backseat. Yep. It's part of you. And I think that acceptance and how you've dealt with that over the years is, you know, it's something that, you know, as an ambassador of the charity, I know that you already do that and you support other people, but it's so much, there's so much people could learn from your journey and from your attitude. So hopefully we get a lot of that, you know, we get a lot of feedback on that, I've no doubt, from today. So thank you.
Thank you, Derek. Thank you.
Good luck with Tea, Jenny.
Thank you very much.
I'm sure it will be
big success.
Oh, no, it's never in doubt. Never in doubt.
That's it.
So, Jen, all's left to say is thanks for joining us. We look forward to the next Gutsy podcast. Keep sharing, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.
Bye.